This dude read me so well. He prayed on me, studied me, and was so. Okay, so y'all remember this story. She said that she moved to be with this man and he did a 180 after studying her and manipulating her. But she moved hundreds of miles to be with this man. She was saying he was all I wanted at first. And not even a week after moving in with him, he's done a 180 where he's a completely different and opposite to the sweet guy he was in the beginning. And keep in mind, they were FaceTiming each other. He was, telling her one thing, but then supposedly he was cheating with a coworker. And he was probably cheating with her before this woman moved down, this poor woman. She says, I confronted him and gave him an ultimatum to stop communication with her. He begged for another chance, but then she found out that he was still communicating with this coworker and still cheating. So she sent me this message via Reddit. She wanted me to read, and then all of these people started giving her advice. And then she was like, you know what? Y'all are right. I packed up to move for him. I can pack up and leave. So this woman, she was like, she decided to leave that very next day. She left the very next day. So towards the bottom, she says, so I'm doing just that. I'm currently gathering all of my things and putting my feelings away and still planning the rest. And I'm like, you definitely better update us. And I also said, don't be hasty, be methodical. And she says, well, I'm organizing my things now so that I can hopefully leave tomorrow by noon. It's going to take me a few days to drive back home. I'm hoping to get back home by this weekend. Okay, so she told me that. I was like, wow, that's fast. Do you have money? And she was like, yes, I have less than $600. Okay, that's challenging. But she also said that she has an electric vehicle. No, she has a hike. Okay, so February 4th and February 5th, I'm sitting up here reaching out like, hey, are you home? Where are you? Hey, you're supposed to update us because she was supposed to get back home over the weekend. So I'm just checking in. And today, this morning, she says, hey, good morning. Yes, I got to Texas safe. Thank you for asking. The day I left, I wanted to take my time, making sure I got everything right. So I sorted a bag for Goodwill, brought the rest of my belongings with me. I had breakfast, checked the fluid and my tires on my car, packed my car, gave myself a manicure and pedicure, showered, thanked, and bid farewell to my sweet elderly neighbor, and finally left right before he got home. Once he got home, I'm assuming he eventually noticed I was gone because he found my keys on the counter. I didn't let him know, and I didn't leave him a note. And not even 15 minutes after he arrived, he was blowing up my phone with calls and messages, left me many voicemails cursing me, accusing me of having a side dude. And I'm thinking it must be the only reason why I'm gone. I never cheated on him. He refuses to take any accountability for himself, just crying and finally begging me to come back. Stopping through that front door threshold to leave the relationship as opposed to going to the grocery store and returning is mind blowing. I had such a hard time and struggled. It felt like I broke something in my head once I did step through that door. LOL. Later on, I realized it was a mental block that I had to just break through. It's so unbelievably hard. I felt like I did something so bad and wrong that I was trembling and crying. So I pulled over a few blocks away to recollect myself. I realized I forgot to block him at this point because I realized my phone kept going off. So I blocked him as soon as I came back to my senses. And then I started driving until I passed that first state line and I stopped at the first gas station. Now I finally felt free looking back at that state line. And I finally felt like I was on a road trip. I felt like myself again. My hands were on the steering wheel, the road was calm, and the destination was my family. I arrived Sunday night. I took my time driving and stopping to sleep enough. I was pretty exhausted from the trip, so I've been catching up on my sleep and I've been in and out of sleep. Now I'm ready to get started on my next projects. I already have a few interviews that I'll be going on soon. I'll be having my breakfast with my sister here in a bit. I'm really glad to be back. Thank you so much for all the advice and support, be it straight, intense, hard, cold advice or the gentlest. I appreciate it. You've no idea how much it helps, and it feels good to know that you're not just imagining things and going crazy. Your community helped a lot. I said, I'm ecstatic you're safe. I'll update the community. And then I asked who she's living with. She says that she's living with her parents, her younger sister and brother, and my two old dogs. Awesome. I was like, how did they react to you coming back? Did they ask you a bunch of questions? She says, I called my mother and let her know I was coming back. They were really happy and glad I was back. They did ask me a lot of questions, but I didn't really want to talk about my ex. So I kept it short and told them I left him and the city because I couldn't see myself with him and moved on. Cool. Simple enough. I left it at that and they didn't push further. She says, I'm glad to because any more questions, and she says she would have broken down. This is a great story. I am very glad that our community came together, supported this woman, and gave her some good advice. But she must have already been in a place where she was ready to receive that information and act on the advice that we had given her. Because we get on these platforms and people give advice all the time. And we know good and well that folks still stay with these people. We do know that, but when you are ready to leave, and she was like this close to running out of money. She said she had less than $600. She was so close to running out of money. But she decided that day the universe had everything in alignment. She reached out. I actually saw the message. We created this video, and everybody came together to give this woman advice. And I'm so glad that we did. And this is what I want this community to be for all of us. I want us to be able to say, you know what, this is a bad situation. And, maybe you should be considering X, Y, and Z. And this is so much better than, you are not very smart, you're stupid, you're dumb. All that doesn't help. That makes people shut down. People that are in terrible situations already have beat themselves up and know that they did things wrong. What they need from that point on is some strategies to get out of the situation. Let's get to safety and then go over all of the things where they zigged and they should have zagged. We get it. People make terrible decisions. Every last one of us in these communities have made a bad decision at some point in time. And we want to help people get out of that situation so that hopefully they never go backwards. So let's keep on doing these things together. Let's keep on holding each other accountable, but still holding space with kindness and grace and compassion and helping people without shitting on them. Jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. I'm ecstatic about this one. I'm glad that we got some help, and they're truly, now she has the chance to thrive. So y'all let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.